China has remained largely quiet, but Donald Trump's seismic shift in political momentum is now prompting rumblings there. The Republican frontrunner once tweeted that global warming is a Chinese conspiracy. And more recently, he accused Beijing of stealing American jobs. That theme was again front and center during his victory speech late on Tuesday.
Someday in the not-too-distant future, if I win, otherwise it's not going to happen, I have to be honest with you. But Apple and all of these great companies will be making their product in the United States, not in China, Vietnam, and all of... You lose $500 billion a year with China. We lose $58 billion a year in terms of imbalance. It's a total imbalance. We don't make good deals anymore. We don't win anymore.
Now, the response from inside China is nothing short of scathing. An editorial in China's Global Times openly brands Trump as a, quote, racist and big-mouthed, and describes violence at his rallies as, quote, shocking. Now, the piece, it was published on Monday, says Trump's White House bid has opened a Pandora's box. Quote, his remarks are abusively racist and extremist, which has left an impression on the U.S. public that he is intentionally overthrowing political correctness, unquote. Now, the piece ends with a somewhat disturbing taunt against the U.S. democratic process, saying this, quote, Mussolini and Hitler came to power through elections, a heavy lesson for Western democracy. Now, Trump has also drawn the ire of some of China's most prominent dissidents. In a recent CNN debate, he was asked about a highly controversial remark made years ago about the Tiananmen Square massacre. And to many, his answer only inflamed the situation.
And about China's massacre of pro-democracy protesters at Tiananmen Square, you said, quote, when the students poured into Tiananmen Square, the Chinese government almost blew it. Then they were vicious, they were horrible, but they put it down with strength. That shows you the power of strength. How do you respond to...
That doesn't mean I was endorsing that. I was not endorsing it. I said that is a strong, powerful government that put it down with strength, and then they kept down the riot. It was a horrible thing. It doesn't mean at all I was endorsing it.
Trump's description of the protest as a, quote, riot is infuriating those who witnessed the Chinese government's bloody crackdown. Wang Dan, who'd led the 1989 student movement and was once China's most wanted man, accuses Trump of using the same language as the Communist Party. In an article for Time magazine, he writes this, quote, I am disappointed by and angry at Mr. Trump's words. If a bloody repression can be praised as a strong, powerful action, what does this mean about American values, especially when this blatant mischaracterization comes from a presidential candidate? Now, Uwar Kai-shi, who has spent 27 years in exile, says he speaks for all those who suffered by warning that Trump is threatening American freedoms. He writes in his blog this, quote, Trump, a privileged comeback king from a litany of failed fast-buck business scams, is an enemy of the values that America deeply defines itself by, the same values that have long provided hope to the victims of oppressive power worldwide. But perhaps the harshest criticism is delivered by the cartoonist known as Rebel Pepper. Now, he takes creative license with this image from Tiananmen Square, which few will ever forget. Now, Pepper, who says that he felt compelled to leave China for his own safety, draws Trump in a tank, brutally mowing down a protester.